2024 starts us off with a full slate of games in Spain in La Liga Matchday 19. Now, on the weekend, our EPL and Serie A best bets, where they were just one goal away in the AC Milan and Sassuolo game from going a perfect 3-0. So instead, we were left at 2-1, but that still leaves us at 40-16 on the season. Now, for this week, I've created 2 parlays, including 5 of this week's La Liga games. Plus, we have one EPL game that's still going on from the last round of games from the weekend, so I'm going to include that in there as well. And while you're listening, if you're liking these picks and the stats, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more soccer picks all year throughout 2024. Let's get started. I'm going to start with that one EPL game. I touched on this in the last video. We'll just go through it again here. It's West Ham and Brighton on Tuesday. In August, West Ham won 3-1 on the road last year. Brighton won 2-0 and 4-0 since 2017. With both of these teams in the EPL, there's been 2 or more goals in 12 of their 13 meetings, 3 or more in 8 of 13, and both teams to score in 9 of 13. If we just look at this season, both are having great years, West Ham being in 6th and Brighton in 8th. Now, West Ham also, they've won 3 straight, including a 2-0 road win against Arsenal last week. Brighton they have 30 points. They just beat Tottenham 4-2, and it was 4-0 before 2 late Tottenham goals in that game, so they were well ahead in all of that game. Brighton games average the highest goals per match, 3.7. West Ham's average the 5th highest goals per match at 3.3. There's been 2 or more goals in all of Brighton's 19 games, and 2 or more in 18 of 19 for West Ham. Both are 13-6 to over 2.5 totals this season. Brighton have scored in all but 1 EPL game this season, and also in 34 of 35 going back into last year, but they have allowed a goal in 23 straight in the EPL. Both teams to score has gone 22-1 in those 23 games. In all competitions in EPL, the League's Cup, the Europa League, West Ham, they have wins in 4 of 5, and all of those wins have been clean sheets of late. They've also scored multiple goals in all of those 4 wins. In 28 games in all competitions this season, West Ham have scored in 26. This game has to be goals. I'm going to bet on goals. Let's go both teams to score. You could probably go both teams to score over 2.5 by itself. For this parlay, just both teams to score. Now, let's get into the La Liga games. And this game is on Wednesday. It's Girona and Atletico Madrid. Second meets third in this probably what is the best La Liga game on the schedule. It's also first for goals for Girona, who have 42. They're also second in XG. And third place, Atletico Madrid. They're third in goals for with 36. And they are 5th in XG. Girona has played in 20 games in La Liga and the Copa del Rey. They've scored in 19. They've allowed a goal in 15. And both teams to score has gone 14-6. Atletico has played in 22 games between La Liga and the Champions League. They've scored in 19. They've allowed a goal in 15. And both teams to score is just 12-10. So they're scoring at a similar rate as Girona. They're not conceding quite as often. However, they actually have only allowed 2 fewer goals than Girona in the season, 19 compared to 21. On the road, they've conceded a goal, though, in each of their past 5 games. And when these teams last played last year, it was they played in Girona last year. It was 1-0 for Atletico Madrid. And Atletico won 2-1 in Madrid. This year, the way these teams are playing, I think we should at least see a goal from both sides. Let's go both teams to score. Now, you could probably get about plus 140 odds on both teams to score in those first 2 games by themselves. I do like this Sociedad and Alaves game, though, also on Tuesday. So if you want to bump it up here, I'm going to throw in a result with Sociedad and Alaves. And it's 8-7-3 Sociedad. They're 6th in La Liga. Their 29 goals for is also the 6th most. At home, they have just 1 defeat. They're 5-3-1. They've scored 17 goals in those 9 games. They've allowed 10 goals as well. Now, they've had back-to-back 0-0 draws in La Liga, but they're undefeated in 6. And they have scored a goal in 14 of 18 and also in 7 of 9 at home. If you go back to last year, they've scored in 16 of 19 in all of their home competitions. Alaves, 16th. They've allowed 24 goals in 18 games, and they have lost 3 straight right now. Now, along with Cadiz, Granada, and Almeria, they are 1 of 4 teams that are still winless on the road. But that streak goes way back much further than just this season, all the way into last season, as they are 0-6-18 on the road in La Liga. They've also allowed multiple goals in those road games in 16 of those 24. On its own, you could probably say Sociedad to win. I just want to bump this parlay up a little bit more and just to ask Sociedad just to get 1 goal. So we'll go West Ham, Brighton, both teams to score. Girona and Atletico, both teams to score. And Sociedad just to score, coming in at plus 184 odds. Now we have 1 more parlay here. All La Liga, starting on Wednesday, it's Real Madrid and Mallorca. Mallorca have pulled some shock surprises over Madrid in recent years, one of which was their last meeting in February. was on the island with them winning 1-0. They also won 1-0 in Mallorca back in 2019. So Madrid should get Madrid's full attention here, given that the last meeting between these teams was the upset. But in between those Mallorca wins, Madrid has won 2-0, 6-1, 3-0, and 4-1. Mallorca is actually playing pretty good soccer right now. They're undefeated in 6 games across La Liga and the Copa del Rey. Now that's good, but if you look at those opponents, it's been Cádiz, Alaves, Sevilla, Almeria, and Osasuna in La Liga, and Valle Agunas in Copa del Rey. And 4 of those have also been games played at home. Away from home, Mallorca has just won 3-5, and they've been outscored 15-9. Madrid is 14-3-1 overall. They're tied in first. They're 7-1-0 at home, and they've outscored their opponents 21-4. This should be an easy Madrid win. Next up, Osasuna and Almeria. We're going to Thursday in La Liga. Now, neither of these teams are great. Osasuna are 12th, Almeria are 20th, and Almeria is 12th. Is the only team without a win, and they have allowed the most goals, 42 goals in 18 games. Now, Almeria have seen the most tied with Villarreal of games going over 2.5 this season at 13-5. Osasuna's games, they don't always see goals. 3 or more goals has only hit in 8 of 18 games. But if you're looking at just games that have 2 or more goals in it, Osasuna is 16-2 to over 1.5. And Almeria is 15-3 to over 1.5. Almeria games average the second highest goals per match at 3.4, while Osasuna's are just 8th, but they're still averaging 2.8. It's hard to ever pick an Almeria win. They have 0 wins this year, and when they're on the road, they're just 1-6-21 in La Liga since their return to the league. Now, in all but 1 road game this year, and in all but 4 in the past 2 years, those games have seen 2 or more goals. Osasuna has played in 20 games in all competitions this season, and 18 of those have seen 2 or more goals. So let's follow those trends and just go over 1.5 goals in this game. And to complete this parlay, also on Thursday, it's Las Palmas and Barcelona. Barca has not played up to standards this year, but they're still Barcelona. They're 4th, they're 11-5-2. Their 34 goals is not bad offensively, but it's defensively where they've given up 21, and that's the problem. That's only 1 fewer than 14th place Mallorca. So if you're looking for a single bet, perhaps both teams to score or even a draw could have some value in this game. Las Palmas has been decent at 7-4-7. They're 9th overall, and their games are generally always tight. They've scored 15. They've also only allowed 15 in 18 games, and they've just been a stone-cold under team this season. They're 14-4 to under 2.5, and their games clearly average the lowest goals per match at just 1.7. Las Palmas at home are 4-3-1, so it's just 1 loss at home. They've scored 9, they've allowed 5, and they've actually already drawn. If we look at some of their past results here against some better teams in the league, they've drawn Sociedad at home 0-0. They lost away to Girona, only 1-0. They lost away to Madrid 2-0. They beat Atletico 2-1 at home, and they also have 1-0 losses against both Betis and Bilbao. So they can keep things close with just about anyone this season. They don't create very much offensively, though, where they have the fewest shots on target, tied alongside Cádiz at 54, and they're also tied with Cádiz for the lowest expected goals number. Barca is winless in their last 4 road games, and they've also conceded a goal in 8 of 10 in all competitions when you count the Champions League. So I don't trust them to win here, even though they are the better team. I still don't see them losing outright, though. So let's just go double chance on Barcelona to include in this parlay. It's a win or a draw. So that parlay would be Barca double chance over 1.5 with Osasuna and Almeria, and a Madrid win coming in at -127. That wraps up my La Liga round 19 best bets, plus a little bonus with some West Ham and Brighton in there. Let me know what your picks are down there in the comments, and let's start 2024 off with some wins.